Have you been hearing a lot about shifting realities and you want to use it in your life, but you don't really know what it looks like, how to go about it, and actually how to apply it successfully in your life? In this video, I'm going to share with you how I've come to understand this whole thing, how to apply it in your life, and at the end, I'll share with you why I believe shifting realities is the new law of attraction. So stick until the end because it's going to be fun and helpful. Hey, what's up you guys? I'm Fernando. Welcome back to my channel. I'm very excited for today's video because this subject lights up my heart. I love this idea of shifting realities, and as you've probably perceived and noticed, most videos and content online on reality creation talk about shifting realities, shifting, right? But what is that really? Do you think it's going to a physical place? You've probably heard about the fifth dimension, the new earth. If you haven't, that's okay, but a lot of people have the impression that it's going to a physical place, and shifting realities is moving to a different place, but it's not a physical place. It's a place, it's consciousness. Is changing the path that your soul is walking, basically. So for us to get into deep detail regarding this, let's begin by talking about the fourth dimension, or the field of infinite potential, the field of infinite intelligence. What Neville Goddard used to call creation, or even fourth dimension, or what the book Reality Transurfing calls the alternatives space, consciousness, what quantum physics calls the quantum field, right? So this field is where everything we experience in this plane comes from. So the physical material world we experience here on Earth is the world of effect. The quantum field, the field of infinite potential, is the world or the realm of cause. So everything begins there. This field contains everything that was, is, and ever will be. Neville used to say creation is finished. So everything you could possibly imagine and think of and beyond already exists in this field of potential. So when we say that we create something in this plane, we're actually selecting from the field of infinite potentials and having it be materialized here. So it's all there. You don't have to create anything. It's more a matter of selecting what you want. So this is how our experiences and the things we see in this world come about. They all come from this field. This field contains everything, the good and the bad, that we judge with our minds as good and bad, right? So when you're experiencing something you don't like, this something is coming from the field and it's materializing, it's manifesting in your experience as this unpleasant thing. All the good things you want in life also come from this field. And our job here, we come to Earth to create, to manipulate energy, as Dolores Cannon used to say, the famous hypnotist that passed on in 2014. So we come here to manipulate energy, to create, right? And so our job is really to get in alignment with the natural and spiritual laws so that we can draw to our experience the things that we want from the quantum field or the alternative space or the fourth dimension, creation. So basically, this field is infinite. So our minds can't really grasp its full size and dimension because it's infinite, and our finite minds don't really understand infinite things, right? It transcends what our minds can grasp. So this field of infinite potential has sectors. There are sectors in it, you know? Some sectors have all the good things you want. Some sectors have all the things you don't want. So everything is there. So the infinite field contains sectors that are linked together, forming timelines. So when you hear people speaking about shifting timelines, shifting to your highest timeline, it's basically a bunch of sectors linked together that are very meaningful to you, to your soul. Your soul has a divine path to walk. Before we come to planet Earth, we as souls, we choose the circumstances of our lives. Now, this concept can be a little hard to grasp or even triggering for some people. People who have had difficult relationships with their parents, people who have been abused physically, sexually, you know, in any way, shape, or form, they usually have a harder time relating to this idea of choosing the circumstances of your life. And when I say the circumstances of your life, it means pretty much everything. The country you're born in, your race, your parents, and the life lessons you're going to go through in this lifetime. So it can be a little hard for some people to understand. If this is hard for you to understand, it's okay. It's okay. But we get to remember that this happens on a soul level. So when we say that we choose our parents, that we choose our life circumstances, it's not the rational mind that does that. Now, it is the rational mind that says, no, that's impossible. I would never have chosen that. I must have been drunk, right? This is the rational mind saying that. But the one who chooses the life circumstances is not the rational mind, it's the soul. And remember, on this plane, the veil of forgetfulness comes down and we forget what we are, right? We forget we are love. We forget we are light. We forget we are infinite intelligence itself, right? And so the ego, who is separateness itself, has a hard time understanding all these things. But ultimately, our souls choose because the soul wants to expand more and more. And this plane is very helpful for that because it's filled with emotion and duality. So we evolve faster when we expand through the physical material world. So on a soul level, we choose the life lessons we're going to experience in a certain lifetime. And so the soul has designed a path to walk through. And then we come here and obviously we forget all about it. And a lot of times we get away from our soul's mission. And when that happens, what's basically happening is you're straying away from your highest timeline. So the sectors in the infinite field that are linked together, forming life timelines, your soul, your highest timeline is a specific set of sectors that are appropriate for your soul's path, for your soul's mission. And so when you are in alignment with your heart, with spiritual laws, when you are basically following your bliss, you are walking the path that was designed for your soul. If you are living a life of struggle, of suffering, of hardship, that probably means that you are far away from the sectors in the infinite field that were designed for your soul. And so your life doesn't really have meaningful purpose, right? And nothing makes sense. You're feeling lost, right? And so this ultimately leads you to look for help. And that's why you're watching this video, right? That's why you're drawn to concepts like the law of attraction. That's why you're drawn to concepts like reality shifting. Because on a soul level, and this is so beautiful, on a soul level, your soul knows it's not walking its path. And maybe by now your conscious mind is getting a hold of things and going like, yeah, this doesn't feel right. So your heart is screaming, your soul is trying to catch your attention, right? To direct you towards a better path for you to get to your highest timeline. And if that's the case, I'm very happy for you. And so shifting reality, shifting timelines is about following your bliss and walking towards the sectors in the infinite field that are favorable for you. And so how do you go about doing that? How do you apply that to your life? So as I mentioned before, following your bliss is the key. Because when you follow your bliss, you are following your heart. And so we get to practice distinguishing between the voice of our conscious mind, the ego, and the voice of the heart. The heart doesn't think, the heart doesn't reason, the heart feels and knows. The heart doesn't think, the heart doesn't reason, the heart feels and knows. So how do you distinguish? You get to feel more than think. So if you're thinking and you're making a decision with your rational mind, immediately after that, feel into it and see what your heart is telling you. If you feel inner tension of any way, shape, or form, this means what you're choosing is not in alignment with your soul. In other words, your heart. So this is the first thing you get to do. Following your bliss means living a life where you do something that fulfills you, that expands your soul. You're helping others, and you're also helping yourself because you're doing something that feeds your soul. I was an ESL instructor. ESL means English as a second language. I was an ESL instructor for around 16 years. I did not like it. I've always loved the English language, but I did not like teaching it. But back then, in the beginning of my career, in the beginning of my adult life, that was the only thing I was able to do in order to make money. And so I was doing it to make money. But it was absolutely out of alignment with my soul's purpose. Now, I did not know any of this back then. This was all way prior to my spiritual awakening, so I was completely oblivious to all of this. But nonetheless, it was totally out of alignment for me, and I hated it. And I did a good job, but I hated it. It was so unfulfilling for me. And I would complain about it. My life was miserable in terms of living a fulfilled life. I lived for the weekends. I drank to excess on weekends because it was like my moment to be free of this unfulfilling job. And so it was a tragedy for my soul, because when you're not walking the path that was designed for your soul, you are walking the path of unfavorable sectors in the infinite field, and these sectors materialize in your existence, making your life basically miserable, right? So I wasn't following my bliss, and I didn't even know about this whole thing. And so if right now you are not following your bliss, you are not living a fulfilled life, and you have no idea what it is that you have to do, that you're supposed to do, that not even have or supposed to, that you are meant to do on a soul level, that's okay. And the first thing you get to do is be kind with yourself. You get to treat yourself with love and acknowledge that at least now you're thinking about it and you're taking the first steps. So if you've no idea what it is that is in alignment for your soul, work on your spirituality. Work on yourself. Keep evolving. Keep expanding your meditation practices. Keep expanding your love, which is basically what you are, right? Because even if you don't know what it is that you're meant to do, if you keep on the spiritual path, if you keep walking the path with patience, with love, this is key here, okay? Because the moment you lose your patience, the moment you get upset because you're frustrated because you don't know where you're going, the moment you lose it, you're going back to where you've always been. And so if you made some progress and then you lost it and you went back to vibrating at lower frequencies, you're canceling out everything you've done. So you get to keep walking. Even if you don't know what it is that you're meant to do, just keep walking with faith and love. And please have fun. Have fun with your practices. Have fun with your journey. This is the key. The catch is you have to have fun, right? So be kind to yourself and keep walking. If you and start listening to your heart. What is it that fills your heart with love and light? What is it that raises your vibration? Right? Maybe it's spirituality itself. Maybe it's metaphysics itself, which was my case. It is my case. And that's why I'm filming this video right now. Because I realized that that's literally my purpose. This fills my heart with love and gratitude. And so I'm listening to my heart. I'm following my bliss. I like doing other things too, and I do them. So you get to follow your bliss. And if you have limiting beliefs as to how reality works and as to what you're worthy of or not, please just let them go, because you can do anything you want. We live in a world where we're fed limiting beliefs as if they were the ultimate truth. And that doesn't serve you, it doesn't serve me, it doesn't serve anybody. So if a limiting belief is preventing you from knowing that ultimately you are well, that ultimately you are safe, and that ultimately you get to choose what it is that you get to do, let them go. Because you are the ultimate creator. We are spiritual beings living a temporary human experience. And so, shifting to your highest timeline is about doing that. About aligning yourself with your heart, following your bliss, and maintaining a high frequency. You get to maintain it. If you do a good job at one point and then you stop doing it, you resort back to getting angry, frustrated, you are dragging your vibration down. If we don't persist, basically the universe goes like this. You can choose anything you want. There are no limits. You can literally choose anything, but you have to persist. Because when you persist, you're telling me that that's what you really want. And then you're granted what you want. So we get to persist. Imagine if every thought we had or every desire we had manifested instantly. It'd be a little chaotic, right? So the universe asks us to really make sure we want what we want. So you get to persist. When you're not persisting, you're going back and forth, and then are you shifting realities? Probably not so much. And so you're not going to a place when you shift realities. You are moving your vibration. Therefore, you are accessing different sectors in the infinite field that connect together and that become timelines. And then you move to those timelines as long as you keep at it with love. With love. Having fun. Because when you're having fun, when you are radiating love, these are high frequencies. And these are the frequencies that allow you to receive and allow you to shift. Okay, so now, as I said in the beginning, shifting realities is the new law of attraction. This is how I've come to perceive this. For many years, the law of attraction was such like a buzzword, right? And it still is. And it's still very valid and it's still very true. But I have a feeling that people got tired of it because they were like, oh my gosh, I'm going to change my life using this formula. But then a lot of people probably overlook the fact that it's about the inner work, right? It's not about changing yourself, but it's about changing your frequency. And we get to keep at it because we're not taught that in school. And so I feel like a lot of people got frustrated with it because they didn't see results. And now shifting realities is this new term that also seems like a magic trick that will solve things without us having to shift literally our vibration, right? Ultimately, in the very end, it's all the same thing, right? We're talking about reality creation. We're talking about aligning ourselves with truth, with spiritual laws, right? In order to begin receiving the things that we want. In other words, shifting timelines, right? So follow your bliss with love. If you already have an idea of what it is that you want to do that fills your heart, that floats your boat, take baby steps. Go for it. And remember that your voice matters. Even if you want to do something that you feel like everyone is already doing, it doesn't matter. You know what? Because your frequency is unique. Your frequency is absolutely unique. So the medicine you have to share with the world is therefore unique. So own it. You are light. You are love. You matter. You are here for a reason. Let go of limiting beliefs. If there's any belief that you have that is telling you that you are not perfect, if there's anything any voice in your head that's telling you that you are not perfect, it's a lie. It's literally a lie. Don't buy into it. You are absolutely perfect right now. Oh, I get the goosebumps. You are literally perfect. What's holding you back is the belief that you are not and that you don't matter. So you can shift to your highest timeline. Do it with love. You matter. And I love you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. Remember, you are love and light. I love you so much, and I'll see you guys next time.